Aiden, stand by. Let's bring back Taurean Small, who is joining us from Capitol Hill to talk more as we start to see some of those dignitaries and world leaders filing into the Capitol Rotunda there. I think I see Senator Tim Scott, along with Senator John Barrasso, some of the leadership there of the United States Senate, Republicans all. So let's talk, Taurean, about the senator's legacy. There are supporters of Senator Lindsey Graham, those who look back at his legacy and remember him as one of Congress's foremost national security experts, someone who was fiercely loyal to U.S. allies, including Ukraine, but also the state of Israel, and was influential, obviously, as serving as the chairman of the Judiciary Committee in the Senate for strengthening the federal judiciary in the mold of the GOP, which is mostly what he did, but that he was also willing and effective at maintaining relationships with presidents of both parties and the other members across the aisle, specifically as it related back to his time when he and Senator John McCain, along with Senator Joe Lieberman, were seen as the three amigos. But then if you look at some of the criticisms of Lindsey Graham, one of the biggest ones is how he abandoned his earlier positions to support President Trump. We've all seen in the wake of his death the tweets and the things that he said about then candidate Donald Trump back in 2015. Others will see him as being overly interventionist in foreign affairs in the Republican Party now that wants to scale back foreign intervention. What are people in Congress saying to you in the conversations that you're having, not necessarily on camera, but in just gauging the temperature?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a great biography of who he was as a lawmaker, who he was as a person, especially that critical point I think you made there about his support for Ukraine. It was at odds at several points with members of the House Freedom Caucus or the America First right-wing flank of the Republican Party. When President Trump was running for re-election, a large part of his orbit was among the idea that they should separate themselves from these foreign conflicts. And, you know, like you said, Graham was a part of holding true to that allyship.
All right, Taurean, stay where you are. We're going to take a pause for a second and just watch Senator Graham's casket being unloaded and brought up to the Hill. All right, that was Senator Graham's body, of course, casket being draped in the American flag. We were watching it as it goes up to the rotunda. Once we get more pictures of the ceremony, we'll bring that to you.